This is already one of the best movies of the year. It's going to be some really interesting cultural shit going on if that is omitted.
I think Blumhouse and Universal were incredibly savvy about the way that they positioned Get Out all year. Mm-hmm. This was a really tactical campaign that they pulled off. And we have a movie that has some similarities right now that is dominating, that is called Black Panther, that already people are like, this movie should be nominated for Best Picture. And there's a little bit of a blueprint for it now. Do you think that with the Logan adapted screenplay nomination, a lot of the frustration over Wonder Woman not being nominated this year,
and Dark, don't forget the Dark Knight bitterness that still courses through our culture.
Yes, an unhealed wound.
I mean,
are we going to be having this conversation about can Ryan Coogler do it 1 year from now?
This is right now. I have no time to have this gestate to become more of a cultural thing than it is. But it wouldn't surprise me if it didn't get nominated. Mm-hmm. It's certainly likely that it could. But I mean, the movie that I was thinking about in terms of when there were 5 Best Picture nominees, and one of them being the People slot, which happened pretty much every year. There was a People slot movie made by a great director or a promising one or somebody with a clear vision that would, history would prove would last for 20, 30, 40 years. Was Star Wars. Star Wars comes out in 1977, is a Best Picture nominee, and I think that Black Panther, I mean, it's much more likely for it to be a Best Picture nominee with this current voting system. Once it's nominated, then what, right? Like, does Coogler get a Best Director nomination? There's all this stuff that'll be interesting to think about as the year goes on, not knowing anything that's coming out between, now and December, but...
When will you guys start your campaign for Black Panther?
It wouldn't matter. I don't think it would win anyway. I don't think that the movies, for as much as there's a People nominee, and for as much as I think that we're more and more grappling with the idea that superhero or genre movies are prestige movies, actually, I just don't think that Black Panther, I would think it would be amazing if Black Panther got nominated. I cannot see it being sustained all the way through the year and then being made as like a convincing case of why it should win. And I think also, to speak to your Universal point, Disney and Marvel have a lot of irons on the fire, and running a year-long keep Black Panther in mind, which I feel like they did for Get Out.
Can I just say something about Disney and Marvel?
Sure.
Black Panther doesn't need Disney and Marvel to do anything because they got black people.
That's true.
Black people will get that movie nominated for Best Picture if it comes to that. And this is the crazy tension, right? That when January comes and Selma Blair and Patrick Wilson are reading the nominees.
It's a great look for Patrick Wilson.
When they read the nominees and Black Panther isn't there, given the work I believe black people will do without Disney and Marvel's prodding, the sincere belief that this is already one of the best movies of the year. It's going to be some really interesting cultural shit going on if that is omitted. And it's almost like, I actually don't like that. I'm actually torn. I don't want to say that I don't like it, but because it's new. This idea that you can have like a people's... You
can hashtag something into the
right,
Oscars.
You can, exactly. I mean, there's no precedent for that. There's now a kind of precedent for hashtagging people out of the Oscars.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But you hashtagging a movie or a person into them. It's a new thing, and it'll be interesting to see A, whether it works or happens, and B, what happens if it doesn't happen.
There's one other aspect of this conversation. In the same way that Black Panther doesn't need Marvel and Disney to continue its efforts anymore, largely because an audience has found the movie in a big way. Yeah. Marvel and Disney, as they have become the most powerful collaborative group in Hollywood over the last 10 years, have shown absolutely no interest in awards whatsoever. Right. They're the only studio, with the exception of the Best Animated category, that just doesn't campaign. They just don't care. They are interested in getting people to see their movies and making money. And that's it. And they are the best in Hollywood at it by far.
I love that. I really do. I mean, I just think the Academy voters should just pick the movies they like.
That was my case for Jedi.
As opposed to the movies that have been shoved down their throats. Just pick the movies you like. And if you like a movie, tell a friend. use your podcast. I know, I'm serious. I
know.
really believe in this. And I know there's a total historical argument for that hurting all kinds of movies that I like, hurting people of color, hurting women who do shit. I feel like things have to be the way they are for a reason, but there's a kind of absolutist and idealist in me that just wishes, I just wish it would happen naturally, and I don't know, I kind of miss, it was never really super totally natural, obviously. There's always been campaigning and lying and, you know, things that go on to get people nominated and stuff, but for the most part, it was very different 25 years ago versus, you know, 25 years later.
Yeah, Amanda was able to power Call Me By Your Name to the mountaintop,
Yes,
but not Armie Hammer, you know? So it's give and take.
Yeah.
But
It's too soon for that.
She's still upset.